Osei with the Overture Group of Keller Williams Realty, your millennial real estate advisor. Today I have the privilege of sitting down with Millennial Millionaire Earl Wise to discuss how he got his start investing in real estate, how he's preparing for the economic downturn, and what he thinks you should do to prepare yourself. Earl, thank you so much for being here.
Man, brother, appreciate you for having me.
Always, man. All right, I'm excited, man. So let's dig right into it.
Let's do it.
Tell us how you got your start investing in real estate, man.
Man, I always been infatuated with real estate, man. Just having conversations with, different people from all variety of places, man. Like seeing beautiful homes and just taking a ride and looking at doctors' houses and stuff like that. Like I just had this connection with real estate. And I knew it as a little kid. Like that's something that I always wanted to get into. Unfortunately, man, I bought my first house when I was about 24 years old.
Okay.
And that picture perfect scenario was not the case. I was dealing with a real estate agent that really didn't have my best interests at heart. Man, I wish I knew you then, man. Instead of this red line Hugo Boss suit, man, I could have been in Milan. So,
Okay.
But I'm gonna do it the best I can with what I was dealt, right? So essentially what happened was, man, I bought this $120,000 limit.
Okay.
And half-ass inspection. Like I said, working with a real estate agent who didn't have my best interests at heart. The house flooded the first day I had it. And the air conditioning didn't work. The furnace broke on me, and I was like, man. And then I was in a location that I didn't like. Didn't meet my needs. So I was like, man, I can't stay here. So about three months in, man, I put the house up for rent. Put a tenant in there. The first person who dropped me 2 months of rent cash, I let him in there. And of course, as we know, and so seasoned investors, they didn't work out right. So I actually put another tenant in, had to evict her as well, and I failed miserably as a landlord. So essentially what I said, to myself, I said, man, I gotta get rid of this thing. So I ended up finding a VA couple who wanted to buy the house full price, but I had to get the house up in perfect condition.
Yeah.
And it was so far from perfect condition, man. I didn't know what to do. I was looking around for contractors. I called my good buddy Jonas. The Jonas, man, I know you do renovations on, rental property stuff like that. He got a contact for me, so I met this guy. He got it up to standards. I ended up selling it, making $20,000.
Wow.
$20,000 on that limit house.
So let me get this straight. So you bought a limit and still found a way to make $20 grand.
I did, and I was like, oh man, at the bottom of the market too, on top of everything else. So I was like, okay, this is what they do on HGTV, where I was like, I can do this for a living. So that started my career off as far as going into the investment standpoint, taking what I learned from that first house and going out there and buying other houses and flipping them.
Okay, so let's backtrack because there's a lot of power in what you just said. It certainly sounds like you got a lot of knowledge from your failures, right? So if you could do anything over again starting out, what would you do?
Man, contact somebody like yourself. Somebody who's an expert in the marketplace. I know you got family and friends out there that say that they're professionals in this marketplace, but they may not put you in the best position to win, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you go out there and talk to real estate experts like Osei and say, hey, Osei, you know this city better than anybody. This is what I'm looking for. This is the qualifications that I have. I want you to put me in a place where I can win. And a place where you can win is where you're going to be happy as that. A place where you can win is where your kids can go to school and get the best education and whatever other criteria that you may have.
Yep. Okay, wow. So now I got a question for you. I kind of want to segue a little bit. You talk a lot about criteria and knowing what you want. As a seasoned investor who's kind of taken some lumps and still found a way to make it work, what are you doing or how are you evaluating whether something is a good investment for you now?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in watching different marketplaces, right? So when the economy crashed, of course, I wasn't, I was just getting into the market. But I remember cities like Los Angeles, Miami, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and those types, in New York City as well. And what was going on in those specific luxury markets, it wasn't happening to my local market at the time. And I was like, I hear about, these cities are tumbling, but the city of Atlanta is still okay. So what's going on? And then 12 to 18 months later, it hits Atlanta. As a seasoned investor now, it's a light bulb that went off in my head to say, oh man, these are what they call leading markets, right? So I know that in the experiences that I had in the downturn. So now as a seasoned investor 10 years later, I'm looking for those markets to give me insight on what's gonna happen in the future.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So now I'm looking at those cities, Miami, Los Angeles, New York, to say, hey, what's going on today?
Yep.
To be able to position myself to win as a seasoned investor now. So what those markets are doing now is essentially, they're on the market, those houses, those condos are on the market longer than they've been.
Yes, sir.
90 days, 100, 120 days with no offers.
Yep.
And what that's a telltale sign for me is 12 to 18 months. And from now, that's what Atlanta is going to
Yes,
look
sir.
like. So if I'm having conversations with you, Osei, and my audience out here, and having those conversations with Osei, say, hey, Osei, and knowing what Earl just said to me, what should I do? What should I do?
Yep.
Take advantage of knowing that in the next 12 to 18 months, that the economy is going to become super stable. And you may not be able to sell your house.
Yep.
So all that equity that you have in your house today may not be available for you tomorrow.
Yep.
So call Osei and make sure that you strategize to be able to sell your house,
Yep.
pull your cash out, and going out there and making different investments knowing that the economy is about to slow down drastically.
So because I know you well, I have the luxury of knowing how you've been planning and preparing for what you just discussed, right? What are you doing to prepare for the economic downturn? And in doing that, what opportunities are you looking for and why?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, it's the same thing. I'm trying to get cash heavy, and I'm trying to be patient. So what I'm doing now is, hey, it's refinancing my current homes that I own, getting longer terms, while the interest rates are still 5 to 6%.
Yep.
Taking all my cash down.
Yep.
Making sure all my other things are in order, from my personal finance to my monthly payments and things like that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sitting and waiting. I'm having conversations with you. I'm having conversations with Jonas, experts in the marketplace, to say, hey, how do we position ourselves to win?
Yep. Yep.
All right. The second part of your question is, so what are you looking at from investment standpoints? I'm kind of all over the place because I've been seasoned, but I'm going to keep it to newcomers who may have that equity once you sell
Yes,
their
sir.
house.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
And they have that money in hand.
Yep.
Be patient. Be patient. Take that money out and wait. Have those conversations. What you want to look at are different opportunities where you can make at least $1,000 a month. I don't invest unless I can get $1,000 a month. And essentially what you want to do is look at opportunities where it's $50,000 per door if you're looking at investing into multifamilies. So let's say, for example, in a duplex. A duplex is 2 doors. That's $100,000. That's $50,000 per door. If you buy a duplex at $100,000 a door,
Yep.
you put about $15,000 into it, $25,000 down on the loan.
Yep.
That will net you $1,000 a month. So when I look at my criteria in investing into 20 units or 10 units or 25 units, my number doesn't change. It needs to be $50,000 a door.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So let me back up, because you talk a lot about the power of what $1,000 can do for you. And kind of before I get into that, you mentioned having the money for down payment and having renovation costs, right? So essentially, you're looking at, for every $40,000 you spend, right, $25,000 down. If it's a duplex, then $15,000 to renovate each side, which totals $40,000. For every $40,000 you spend, you need to net a minimum of $1,000 per month.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's all. I hope y'all caught that. If you didn't, please rewind it and watch it again and write that down, because that is so powerful. It will change your life. Wow.
And I know plenty of millennials, you know, who bought at the right time, who had $80,000, $120,000 in equity within their current residence.
Yep.
So let's do the math. $40,000 is $1,000 a month. $80,000 is $2,000 a month. $120,000 is $3,000 a month. That you can pull out your house and invest in the marketplace to make $3,000, $2,000, $1,000 a month. To me, that's life-changing money. Let's just get to $1,000 a month. But those numbers get kind of crazy when you think about 40, 800. Most people can't really wrap their mind around those types of numbers. But let's talk about what $1,000 a month does for you, right? $1,000 a month. If you got kids, right? All right. Well, hey, me and my wife, well, we can go out and we can invest into this. You know, well, I'm talking to my real estate agent. We really want to buy a house. This is gonna be our second home. Our first house we paid $150,000 for it. Now it's worth $275,000. We got all this equity, we sold it. Now we got $100,000 cash. We're gonna go out and we're gonna buy us another house. Unfortunately, even with our down payment, we only can afford a $350,000 house. That's about $1,800 a month, right? But in this marketplace, everything is so high. Like I can't really get into the neighborhood that I truly want to be in.
Yep.
I got to get into a neighborhood that I'm selling to be in, right?
Yep.
But let me tell you how to take that $100,000 a month, that $100,000 in equity, right, and bring yourself $2,000 a month in return. What you can do, you can sell that house, talk to Osei, and say, hey, Osei, I got $100,000. I'm looking to go buy me a duplex or a quadruplex, which is 4 doors, and I want to take this $100,000 and invest in that. Okay, Osei goes out and he finds you that quadruplex. You put the $80,000 down into it. You're making $2,000 a month. Now you can increase your budget from a $350,000 house to a $600,000 house.
To get in that school district that you want.
That you're not spending extra money, and it's all coming from those investments that you make.
Yep. So let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on, let's say, I haven't purchased yet, the economy's shifting, I'm taking your advice, I'm looking at my expenses, I'm minimizing debt, I'm making as much money as I can and saving it. What are your thoughts on house hacking multifamily property as a first-time purchaser?
Hey, I think it's a good opportunity. So that's another strategy. For example, so when you're looking at house hacking, right? Let's say you buy a duplex and you live in one side. You want to make sure that the other side, that when that tenant is in there, that it covers your mortgage. So now at this point, you're living rent-free. I mean, or mortgage-free at this time. You know, so any money that you make is 100% yours. Now you can pay down additional debt. Now you can save up for the quad or the 8 unit that you want to invest into.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're giving away nuggets, boss. In lieu of the economy shifting and the real estate market turning, what kind of opportunities are you specifically looking to invest in?
Yeah. So I look back in the day, you know, when I was investing into an economy crash, and in my mindset, I was so, you know, just in my bubble in the city of Atlanta. Now I'm looking back and I'm looking at those opportunities that were in those luxury markets that I talked about beforehand, and saying, hey, you know, well, I bought this $75,000 condo in downtown Atlanta, and now it's worth $250,000. So I go back and I look at those condos in those luxury markets. Let's take Miami, for example.
Absolutely.
That same $75,000 condo in Miami is now $500,000.
Yes, sir.
So looking at those luxury markets, what's going on, the stabilization, the pullback that's going on in those type of markets, I'm looking for opportunities in those markets.
Bro, I gotta say, man, I love your mindset and your approach in terms of your next play in real estate investment, man, and just thinking outside the box. And I really hope that the audience is soaking up what you're saying, because there are so many opportunities out there if you're willing to position yourself and rub elbows and network, listen to new ideas, and get outside of your comfort zone, right? To bring that full circle and now tie it back to multifamily property. With what's coming up, you know, with the markets that you're looking in, talk to me about the opportunities you're looking for in multifamily property and why.
Yeah, so currently there's really no deals out there in the multifamily market. And, you know, I stalk the FMLS every day. It's the first thing that I do when I get up. I call you, I say, Osei, what's going on out there? Jonas, have you seen anything? Where are they? You know, and it's like chasing cats. Like it's just no opportunities out there. And what it made me do is take a step back and try to figure out why there's no opportunities, right? But then again, it makes sense. And let me tell you why it makes sense there's no opportunities out there. Because tenants are very smart. They know what market rent is. They know if they're paying up under it. They know if they're paying too much for it. And currently those landlords that own those properties have those properties rented for under market value, right? And in their mindset, the perception of what the media is telling them is that, hey, this economy is doing great. My duplex is gonna be worth $1 million. No, sir, it will not be worth $1 million. You know, so you know, and you know the mindset of what a landlord is going through, and that tenant is say, hey, well, I'm only paying $400 a month for rent. The market rent for this type unit is $950 a month. if my faucet doesn't turn correctly and the water doesn't get as hot as I wanted it to get, I'm not gonna call my landlord because he might ask me to bump up my rent.
Yep.
Right? So coming forward, what's gonna happen, the perception of what's going on in the marketplace is gonna change in the mind of a landlord. Oh man, the economy is slowing down. And it's gonna happen because our market is 12 to 18 months behind those luxury markets that I just talked about.
Yep.
You're gonna start hearing more about that in the news.
Yep.
The landlords are hearing the same thing. The tenants are hearing the same thing.
Yep.
And at this point, the landlord is gonna say, oh, before I lose this $1 million position I have in my multifamily, let me get rid of it.
Yes, sir.
All right? And it's gonna be too late because they're not thinking about what the market is gonna look like 6 to 12 to 18 months from now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So with this conversation that we having and having real estate agents like yourself to consult us through this, we can prepare because with that time gap,
Yep.
it's opportunity.
Yep.
And that's what I'm looking for. That opportunity. Now those mailers, those wholesalers that I've been working with,
Yep.
all of a sudden the phone is ringing. But guess what? That price that I'm offering, that $50,000 a door we talked about, is no longer $50,000 a door. Now it's 35, and that's where you make your money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, if you, I really hope that you're soaking this in because what he's telling you right now will change your financial future. Wow, Earl. Thank you so much for dropping that information.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. Hey, it ain't no fun unless we all get some, right? That's just how we roll, right?
To wrap things up, where can the audience go to learn more about you, potentially share opportunities in real estate with you, and just kind of follow your path in real estate investing?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Also, I have a group me chat as well.
Okay.
You also can call me or email me.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time, Earl. Thank you for sharing your insight, man. I really appreciate it.
Nah, I appreciate you.
Listen, can't say enough. Jim Rohn tells us that we are an average of the 5 people we spend the most time around. So if you have millennial friends and family that can benefit from this information, please tag them, repost this, reshare this. Make sure that our network has the information we need to be positioned to take advantage of what's coming. Thank you so much for tuning in.